Hey guys, it's Sigmund Sarnola here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of visualizations that you can use that can help tell a better story with the data that you have. And so I'll kind of be going along the lines of how to make charts like this, and spatial maps like that, and then some histograms with a couple of calculated fields that can make your visualization better. And so I guess we can get started with this. And so the kind of data that I'll be using is the up here Marathon 2010 data 4, and the race location data 4. And if you do not have those data sets, I'll probably post them in the description below. So let's get started. So, okay, so I'm just going to be opening up some of the files. So I'm going to open up the Marathon 2010 data 4. And so since I want both data sets, there's an option up here, this cylinder with a plus on it. This allows you to add another data set to Tableau. So if I just click on that and then just find the file that I'm looking for, which is race location data 4, I can click that, open it, and boom, now we have both of these. One of the main things that you need to understand about this is that if I choose, for example, I'm highlighting over race location data 4, I have to use the things in the table from this data set, and I can't combine it with this one. So I can't drag a year from race location data 4 and then use finishers from Marathon 2010 data. You'd get an error. So I guess to get us started, I'm going to make a visualization uh, like that bar chart earlier just to start us off. So I'm just going to drag finishers into rows, and I'm going to drag year into columns. And so right now, it's a continuous right now. So if I just change it to discrete, it'll change it for us into this kind of shape right here. And so this chart can do the job, but I personally like the line chart because it just feels cleaner. And so I guess I'll just show you guys how to do that. So let's open up a new worksheet. I'm going to drag finishers into rows, and if you control click on finishers and drag it to the right, it duplicates it. So that's a little life hack right there. So I'm going to drag year. You know, if you want, you can do month, day, depends on you, but for this, I'm going to be showing year. And so I can change this to a discrete. So, but it'll just make things, I'll have to go back and edit some stuff. So we have it like this right now. So in the marks table, you'll notice that there's three different columns. There's one that controls all of it. So things that I do in here, if I change it to a line, it'll change everything. And so what I want to do is this one, sum finishers, is for this top chart, and this sum finishers is for this bottom one. Kind of self-explanatory. So what I want to do is change sum finishers and turn it into a line. So it turns out like that. I can probably change the color a little bit, just change it to black. For the other sum finishers, I'm going to change it from just these bar chart, from these bars, and change it to a circle or shape or square, whatever you want. So I can change the color for that, red. And here comes the cool part. So we're going to combine these charts so it can make our visualization much better. Like it would be, you can go along with just the line, but it's kind of difficult to point out where the exact year was. So what I'm going to do, just to combine them, right click on the bottom chart, and then there should be this option that says dual axes. And so once you click that, it combines them, and boom, your chart is combined. And so these circles just make it better and more visually, I guess, appealing to see like where certain years are happening. Like it's very easy to tell, like, oh, this is a year point that happened there. And so this is a way to um, yeah, spice up your visualizations. And don't forget to give it a title is just as important as your visualization. So we can do number of finishers, and then right under it we can do what's it called, per year, something like that. So we can do this 20 bolded, change this to like 9, and boom, you have a nice chart right here. So as you can tell, this bar chart can get the job done, but this line chart, it just feels cleaner. So personal preference. So I'm going to move on to making the spatial charts, the map chart. So for this one, we're going to still be in race location data 4. So I'm going to control click on latitude and longitude and open up the show me. And so you need to get these so that you can make the map. And I'm just going to control click also on city. And then click on the show me button. Very nice and easy. And boom, it creates the map for us. And so if you hover on each of these points, it only gives us this information. It just gives us the city and just the state. And so we kind of want more things within it. Like we want to know what marathons happened for each of these location points. So what we can do is take marathon name and drag it under detail. And so if we hover again on it, the marathon name is Red Island Marathon. I bet we can probably switch it out with marathon and see what happens. Yeah, that seems much cleaner than just having marathon name. The other thing we could probably do to add to spice up the visualization a little bit more is probably add the number of finishers in details. So now we can hover over and we can see how many finishers were there for each of the marathons that were run. So like for example, in the city of Dayton, there was the Air Force Marathon, and there were 24,000 runners that actually finished the race. So that's pretty cool. And just to maybe we can even, let's see, detail of some time. Well, we can probably play around with that a little bit more next time. But, you know, just a couple ideas. You can add what you want into these different visualizations. So this is the spatial map. Don't forget to give some kind of marathon locations. So something like that. There we go. And the last visualization that I'm going to be showing you guys is going to be using data from the Marathon 2010 Data 4. So if we click on this, some of the things I'm going to be doing is just making a histogram. So for example, if I click on chip time and just make a histogram here, it looks pretty good for the most part. But something that people might be unaware of is that right now this is in the data dictionary and in the data source. This is actually, the chip time is actually being measured in minutes. And so to some people, it would like 60 minutes, 180 minutes, and 240 minutes. You know, we can do it by that way, and that can signify that was an hour, 2 hours. But just to make it easier for the viewer, we can change it from minutes to hours. So I'm just going to clear this board. This button right here just clears the whole sheet. So something that I'm going to be doing is creating a new calculated field. So what I'm going to be doing is right click on the tables part and then create calculated field. So I'm just going to give this a name, probably going to call it chip time hours, something like that. And what I'm going to be doing is typing in this formula, which allows us to change it from minutes into hours. So I'm going to be using this round function, which rounds it to however many decimal places I want it to be. So what we're going to be doing is open and close bracket, and I'm going to be using chip time. And so it should give you a pop-up menu in which you can choose. Make sure you just choose chip time. So now we have that. And so in order to get minutes, or it gets hours from minutes, we have to divide by 60. I'm going to do a comma and round to the second decimal place, and then close off the function right there. So now we press OK, and boom, we have our chip time added here. So now what we can do is control click on this, create the histogram, and boom, now we have it in hours. So that's pretty cool. So I guess just to make it a little bit more interesting and cooler to look at, it's going up by 0.2 every single time. So I'm going to change that and make it to the bin width to just an hour. So let's go to edit, and the size of bin, let's just make it 1, so 1 hour. And we can see that that was a huge difference. And so this is kind of something that was kind of brought up beforehand. There's an interesting story to tell here, is that, you know, so many people want to get this to finish before 5 hours. So maybe there was like a prize where people wanted to finish at that time, but a 4-hour mile sounds much more interesting than a 5-hour mile. And so there must have been goals and everything that people are trying to get when achieving this. So yeah, and don't forget to give a title. We can do just ship time, histogram, something like that. Maybe something more interesting than that. So, and don't forget, everything has some kind of story to tell. Like in this, why was there a huge jump from 1999 to 2000? And then here, were some, why are there more people in this bin width than this one? What was that huge difference and everything? And even, hey, why are there some people, what's the story behind some of these people who finished a marathon within 2 hours? That's crazy. So yeah, there's some interesting things you can learn from the data here. So I guess that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks.